everyone. I am just about to have my first meal. I'm going to be having this cheese bagel with a couple of types of hummus. I just picked these up and I really like both of them. They're President's Choice brand. This one here is the roasted garlic one, and this one is so good. It's the dill pickle one. So I'm gonna do roasted garlic on one side of my bagel and dill pickle on the other. There are many things I want to talk about in this vlog. Let's start off with a couple of fun things. The first being that hubby and I went duckpin bowling for the first time. I've never even heard of duckpin bowling. Had a new bowling alley open up and it's a chain, but this new one only offers duckpin bowling. There's no traditional 10-pin bowling. I'm not a huge fan of traditional bowling, but duckpin bowling was really intriguing. One, because I've never tried it before. The other thing is that you don't need to have rental shoes for this because the bowling lane is a little bit raised off of the ground. So if you imagine a skee ball machine, that's kind of the height. So you can wear your own shoes, and I really love that. The other thing is that the balls are smaller. The pins are also smaller, and there are 10 of them, but the ball is like a 5-pin bowling ball size. So there are no holes for your fingers or anything like that. You just grip it with the palm of your hand. It's lighter, it's easier to manage, there are no holes for your fingers. Those are all good things in my book. The game is a little bit harder because the pins are smaller. I think I read that the ball can actually fit in between the pins, so often it's difficult to get a strike. So you get 3 attempts to knock down all 10 pins versus traditional 10-pin bowling where you get 2 chances. So it was really fun. Hubby and I went for an hour, and it was a day that hubby had off from work, a weekday, so it was half price and it wasn't that busy, although there was a group. I think it was a corporate group there, but they were pretty quiet and they left partway into our booking. We got in 3 games. Hubby beat me every single time. I'm not that great at games and sports and that type of thing, but I did get 1 strike. Hubby also got a strike. I was very happy to have gotten that. I wasn't trying for it. In fact, I got a lot of gutter balls. I don't know, I'm just like so uncoordinated. When I throw a ball, it goes every which way. One time there was a group playing soccer in a park that we were walking through, and the ball came to me, like it went off of the field and came towards me, and I went to kick it back to them and it went behind me. Ooh, so garlicky. Really, really good. Must be so much salt in this, but oh my goodness, is it delicious. I'm in a really good mood today, which is not something I can say every day. It's been kind of up and down for me. Still the same stuff with the news and just like feeling a bit weird about that. But today I'm in a really good mood. I think it's because I just recorded a video and I've been very into book reviews lately, but in the form of reacting to reviews on Goodreads. So what I've been doing is when I finish a book, before starting the next one, I'll try to record the video. That way the book is fresh in my mind and I don't start getting into another story before I've reflected on what I just read. It's only been 3 videos, so I don't know if I will keep up the pace, but so far so good. There's only been 1 book that I haven't reviewed in the time that I started doing this like read and then review practice, and that was You Like It Darker, which is a set of short stories by Stephen King, and that I found a bit hard to review. There were only some stories that I liked, so I didn't really know what to say about it. I didn't have that many thoughts about it, so I decided I would not review that one and I would just move on to the next book. So I think I'll just like play it by ear. If there's a book that I finish that I have things that I want to say, I will do a review. Otherwise, I'll just move on to the next book. I was trying to log my thoughts in a Google Doc and I was doing that for a while, but I fell off of that pretty quickly because it wasn't as fun. It didn't feel as dynamic. I found it really hard to sit down and start writing what is essentially a review of a book. I just felt very like I didn't know what to write, the words wouldn't come out, so it became a drag for me to do that. So I think I only had a few reviews at the very beginning of the year. Now that I'm recording these videos, it feels much more engaging, it feels more interesting, the words come out more naturally when I speak to a camera, maybe because I've been vlogging for so long and I've been doing YouTube videos for so long, whereas I haven't really written a lot of reviews in the past. The majority of my reviews, especially in recent years, have been on YouTube. So to sit down and write a book review, it was just it didn't come naturally to me, whereas the videos come very naturally. I have a lot of fun doing them. I have a lot of energy afterwards. I have so much energy that I'm going to record another video after this, but it's just going to be a short review of the murder mystery game that I picked up for hubby over Christmas. We played the murder mystery game over the Easter long weekend. For some reason, we thought it would take us 5 hours or maybe like 2 days. So we played on Friday thinking it might carry over to Saturday, and both days were supposed to be pretty rainy. So we figured it would be a perfect rainy day weekend activity. It only took us around 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. We were really just like looking over our notes and making sure we had the right suspect. It was really, really fun. We didn't use any hints, and we did get the right person on the first try, so it felt very gratifying as well. I love that hubby and I work together so well. The first task is to do an inventory of the evidence to make sure you have everything in the package, and I just went through the evidence. I listed them off and he checked it off on the sheet. That was really fun, and it was nice to get a lay of the land to see like what evidence do we have, what will we be looking at as we progress through this game. So I thought that was actually a really helpful step. And then we had the evidence all around us. We read everything out loud to each other so we wouldn't miss anything. So it was very collaborative, which I liked. It wasn't like hubby would read something on his own and formulate his own thoughts and I would read something else. Like we did everything together, which was very fun. There were some police reports in there with a detective and the suspect, so we did like a little role playing where I would read the part of the detective and hubby would read the part of the suspect, and it just worked out really well because we went through the evidence together as a team rather than individually. So everything felt very like we were playing the game together. Hubby and I don't play a lot of games. We're actually not that into games, especially strategy board games and things like that. Take up too much time and brain power, and we don't find them all that fun, especially when there's a winner. It's nice that this one was a collaborative game where you work together to find the killer rather than us like competing against each other and having one winner. I think when hubby and I play games, we tend to prefer games where we work as a team. So it was really, really fun, and we would definitely try another one of these games. I told hubby I would buy him one at every Christmas and then we could play it in the months that follow. It is time once again for Lulu to go to the vet. Lulu hurt her leg again not too long ago. She was doing so well, and then she slipped on a little patch of our hardwood floor and she tweaked something in her leg. The first day that it happened, she couldn't really put any weight on it, but it is healing up and we're gonna have the vet check it out today. She's still limping a little bit, which is why I didn't even bring her leash. I'm not even gonna bother trying to walk her, but I am gonna let her out on this small patch of grass to go potty before we head to the vet's office. Otherwise, she's been doing very, very well. She's been very chipper, which is how she slipped in the first place. She was excited and she was running, and I think she just lost traction. She is getting older, so these accidents will probably continue to happen. So I bought some mats for our condo and I just put them in a couple of areas. They only had 2, unfortunately. I'm gonna try to find a couple more. I'd like to cover some parts of our hardwood floors so she doesn't have the same accident, because she does still tend to get quite excited. I went to Serano Bakery and I showed so much restraint. I only purchased 3 pieces of baklava. There were times in the past where hubby and I would buy 2 or 3 boxes of treats, but because I'm trying to cut down on sugar, which has been going very well, I still eat a little bit a day in terms of like a sweet treat. This doesn't include fruit, yogurt, and that sort of thing. I'll have like half a donut or a cookie or something like that. It's Friday today and it is the 9th of the month, so I'm about to head out to get that 50% off bubble tea. But I have a few minutes before I have to go, so I thought I would just give an update on Lulu. The vet said that she thinks it's a torn or loose ligament in Lulu's right knee. When I came home and chatted with hubby about it, he reminded me that she had actually had the same issue on her left leg 4 or 5 years ago. And when I looked back in my email, I did write to a couple of my friends about it, and it seems like the exact same thing. This was during the pandemic, so we couldn't get in to see her regular vet, and we went somewhere else instead. The vet there thought it was a loose ligament, but ligaments don't show up in x-rays, so it was just like her best guess as to what was wrong. So Lulu actually healed up very nicely after several months. We just gave her a lot of rest. We made sure she didn't jump or run or do anything strenuous. It healed up very well to the point that she could use her left leg again with no real issues. So this time it's her right leg, and it was a very similar injury. So hubby and I are going to monitor her. I think last time it took 2 to 3 months for her leg to heal. So hopefully after the same amount of time, she won't be favoring it anymore. Right now, she is putting a little bit more weight on it. She seems to want to walk around a lot. So we've been trying to pick her up to take her where she wants to go. But she's seeming pretty good otherwise. The vet said she looks really healthy otherwise. I'm still waiting for her blood work and the results of her stool sample. She's been very like same old Lulu in terms of her behavior. Of course, she's more tired now. She's on the meds, which make her drowsy. Plus, she's 14, so she's naturally just started to slow down over the years, but she's still very alert, very good appetite. She seems very comfortable when she's not sleeping. I guess I'm quite a nervous pet parent. I watch her very closely, and I think I can tell when she's in discomfort or pain. I tend to read into that a lot, and like I'm always worried about her. Right now I'm feeling pretty good that she's okay, and being a nervous pet parent, that's not often the case. Weight-wise, she's still the same weight as last time. We've stopped giving her a lot of treats. We only give her a little bit now, and even hubby is on board with that. But because she's not moving around as much because of her leg, I think like she's just not as active, so she didn't really lose any weight, but I think it's fine. The vet didn't really say anything about her weight this time. So that is the Lulu update. I also wanted to do a coloring update. I bought some alcohol markers recently. These are quite hot right now, and my sister actually told me about them. I think the popular brand is called Ohuhu, but I found something similar at HomeSense, so I decided just to pick those up for now because they're a lot cheaper, and I didn't really know if I would enjoy alcohol markers. So I bought this set. It's a set of 48, and it's in the pastel. Brand is Artist Concepts. I saw a few reviews saying that people found this brand at HomeSense or Marshall's and they thought it was pretty good. So I decided to go ahead and pick them up, and they are fantastic. Of course, I've never tried the Ohuhu ones or the Copic alcohol markers, so I don't know how they compare, but these are very suitable for the way I use them. They don't have a brush tip though. They have the fine tip and also the chisel tip. I did this little swatch sheet of all the colors so you can see all of the shades here. There's a nice range even though they are in the pastel collection, and I just made this sheet really quickly on, I think it was like Google Sheets, just populated that and then printed it out. Started coloring with them as well, and I finally started using this book here, the little corner cute and comfy coloring book. With my other coloring book, Have a Slice Life, that one is going to be all in colored pencil, and I pick and choose which image I want to do depending on what I feel like coloring. But this one I'm going to try to go in order. So I've done 4 pages so far. This doesn't really count. It just is this book belongs to page. And then I also did this test color page. And for these 2 pages, I was really scared to do shading and highlighting, so I didn't do any of that. It's just basically flat color, but I wanted to get used to using the markers. And I think for this test color page, I incorporated every single color, all 48 colors. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not 100% sure. And then I did this page. And this is where I started trying to blend my blending. The fire in the oven, it looks, I think, pretty bad. Did some fire glow, like minimally, and then I did a little bit of like a neon effect here. That is where I started experimenting a little bit. And then I did a really fun experiment yesterday. I tried a 2-color challenge, and I really wanted to practice highlighting and shading. So I did this image, which I think turned out really nice. It's of course got a lot of imperfections. This section here was like so challenging, and it became very, very streaky, but otherwise I like how it turned out. I used two colors and just layered them. So the darker sections in each color, I just went over, I think it was like 3 times with the same marker. So this has been a lot of fun, and I am going to come back and chat a bit more later. It is time to go get that bubble tea. There was a huge line last time, and I'm going earlier this time, and hopefully there won't be a big line. There was no one here. I was the first customer. Here are the rugs that we put on our hardwood, or the mats, I guess. They're 2x5, so I bought 5 of them. So we've got 4 here, and it's probably a good thing that we have something under our bar stools. We used to have a little carpet runner there. I think maybe Truffle used to dig at it, I don't know, but it was in bad shape. So we got rid of that, and we didn't get anything to replace it. So our bar stools have been on the hardwood, and our hardwood is a little bit scratched from it. Lulu really wants to be in the video. She keeps getting up and having me record her. So there are 4 over here. I've also blocked off the whole tile area and the kitchen. She's actually okay on tile, it's more so the hardwood, but because we're trying to restrict her movements, we decided to block it off for now, and maybe down the road we'll open it back up again when she starts to heal. And then we've got one more mat over here because there was a patch of hardwood that she tends to slip on. Although when she hurt her paw, I think she slipped in this area. Our little modifications for Lulu. I think she's waiting for lunch, but I think there's still an hour to go. She's very, very alert and always, always famished. I'll give her a little treat. I had originally ordered a hot bubble tea, but they're out of the hot cups. So I got a cold, and I'm actually so glad because I broke a sweat walking there. It's a beautiful day out. It's actually not that hot, but I think because I practically ran there, I didn't want to stand in line. So I walked really, really, really fast. And on the way back, I also walked really fast. I could have walked slower, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I was just like, booking it. So by the time I got home, I was dripping. I was so hot and sweaty. So this is perfect. It's really, really refreshing. And I can't tell you how much I look forward to the 9th of every month to have this. It doesn't make me feel very good, so I'd rather just get it once a month. The caffeine is a bit too much for me, but I think it's worth it. Maybe I'll show you a couple more things about coloring. I ended up making 8 of those Rage coloring pages. I think I'm good now. I haven't really felt the urge to make any more. I don't really have ideas for more, but I colored a few others that I wanted to show you. I really, really like this one. And then I also have this one, which was really fun to color, and these are all colored pencil. I tried one with the alcohol markers and it didn't turn out very well. It's this one, which was inspired by Lulu. Because my drawings aren't that detailed, there are a lot of big areas to color. The alcohol markers end up being quite streaky. I find it a little bit challenging. So I think I'll reserve my alcohol markers for that little corner coloring book, and then my Rage coloring pages I'll just color with colored pencils. And I really like the big areas to color because then I can go fast, and it actually does, I think, help with a lot of the rage that I'm feeling. These have been a lot of fun, and I've got, I think, 3 more that I have yet to color. I have been into coloring, but I've also been into puzzles. I've also been enjoying reading lately on the exercise bike, but right now I'm in between fiction. I think those are all of the things that I wanted to chat about. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. I will see you in the next one. I hope you're all doing well.